Hi, my name is Dave Fowler with David's Kitchen Design, and today we're going to talk about guerrilla marketing. And my focus is going to be on new areas, discovering new possibilities of areas you could break into and how that might take shape. I'm going to kind of refer to my situation and then also talk about how it might apply to your situation. So first of all, we're in the business of helping people, and we're in the business of filling a need. Doesn't matter whether you're an industrial company that does air conditioning, doesn't matter what you do. We basically fill a need for people that's there, and that's how we get paid. So our concern, first of all, is helping people fill a need. The second thing I will mention is so if we own a flooring company, for example, and we're doing floors in people's homes already, and we see another opportunity coming in, like just say it's in lighting or it's in kitchens or it's in a number of other areas, and we go, wow, we're missing that opportunity. Then we got to ask ourselves, like, how can we capitalize on that opportunity? How can we get into it? And that's one of the things that I actually do here. I actually help contractors get into kitchens. I can help people start a kitchen company from scratch. I can help them set up a showroom. I can help them sell and design kitchens and do the whole thing for them, basically. So let's talk about my evolution in my company. Number one is I've been designing kitchens for 15 years. I actually started David's Kitchen Design about 5 years ago. And basically, what I do is I consult, I design kitchens. And design is probably a lot of my work, but also I can teach people 2020 or teach them how to design. I teach sales techniques and things like that. So how did all that evolve? Well, it kind of came over a lot of time and a lot of experience and a lot of discovering good and bad and seeing opportunities. So first of all, let's talk about opening our mind up to opportunities. Have you opened your mind up to opportunities, or are you a status quo person? If you're a status quo person, you're pretty much used to punching a clock, even if it's your own business. You've done things the same all the time, and you continue to do things the same and don't see any new opportunities. So, seeing new opportunities is the first key. I'm going to open my mind up and I'm going to see opportunities and I'm going to go, wow, that's a possibility, or this is a possibility. And I'm going to take a look at all these things. Now, I have another video on brainstorming and discovering your target market. So the first thing is discover your target market. Who would use your product? Second thing is brainstorm as far as how do you market to those people. But one thing we didn't mention in that video is opening up to new markets or new possibilities of who would use our products. Now, one thing I mentioned is if you own a plumbing company, for example, you may not know that people like me who do kitchens are always looking for people to hook up plumbing at the end of a job in two bathrooms, say, for example, in a kitchen. And usually somebody charges me anywhere from $800 to $1,000 to come out and do that, or charges my customer that, I should say, not me. And so, if you do, say it takes you 3 hours, say it takes you a whole day, what you're kind of trying to do is say to yourself, okay, rather than charge hourly, I'm going to charge um, per project. And so, say you're getting $800 per project. Say some jobs only take you 2 hours. That's $400 an hour, technically. Say it takes you all day, well then it's $100 an hour. So you're kind of pricing it as a whole. For example, with some of my kitchen design projects, I price it like a retainer. And I figure out just an average per design. Doesn't matter whether that takes me, 8 hours or takes me 5 hours or takes me 2 hours. A lot of jobs just take 2 hours. But the thing is, I'm pricing it out in general as to an average of what I think it would cost, and I make pretty good money on that too as well. So if I were to charge per hour, sometimes I'm $100 an hour. Sometimes I'm more reasonable. It just depends on the situation. But the thing is on the maximum side, sometimes I make $50 an hour when I price it the way I'm talking about, like with a number of jobs and the overall average. So if you say your fee, for example, is $800 to put in a sink and two bathrooms, sometimes it's just a sink. Doesn't really matter. It's the trip out to the house and it's doing the project, and then it's so much per job. And that's your figure. And then you kind of don't budge off that unless it's like excessive. But even there, you still made a lot of money on the ones that were less time. It's an overall average. So that's kind of how I do some of my stuff as far as pricing goes. I'll come into a company that does, for example, 20 kitchens a month, for example, and I'll say, okay, look, I'll do everyone for $250 a piece or $200 a piece or whatever I figure. And then that way, and they pay like a retainer. So they'll buy 10 kitchen designs at a time, something like that. So that's kind of another way I've looked at pricing and how I come up with some of my stuff. Let's look at new markets. So, for example, what I was just discussing is how you would discover a new market with my projects. Um, uh, or I should say, with a plumbing company and people like an unconsidered prospect or new customer like me to refer my people to you and to have consistent good service and to refer you to you on every kitchen and you get out there on time and you know the situation. That's key. So anyway, that's just one example. Um, so what we're going to do is we're going to sit down and say, okay, here's our core customer now. We have four areas we deal in, just for example. But we've never looked at this market, we've never looked at this market, we've never looked at that market, and here's like five new opportunities. And once again, that's brainstorming. That's sitting down with maybe even a group of people and say, what are some new markets that we could consider? Okay. The other thing is there's adding on a whole new product to your service. Say you're struggling right now. Say you're a contractor who goes regularly into houses to do flooring, and you're down there on the floor, and someone else is coming in and doing that kitchen, for example, or someone else is coming in and doing that lighting, or someone else is coming in and doing whatever it is. And you see that, and you're like, wow, I'm missing out on that opportunity. Okay, so then um, what our service does is we can come in and design that kitchen. All you need to do is bring us measurements. We'll design that kitchen. We'll do it on Zoom with your customer representing you. We will, we will either represent you or we can actually bill it to us and pay you a commission or a finder's fee. Many times that could be like a third or whatever of the profit. So on a $10,000 job, for example, uh, we're at 3,300 and some, 33 theoretically, or whatever, or split it. There's different ways, but the thing is, I have a fee for my service, but at the same time, I do pretty much the whole thing for you. So that's something to consider, for example, with contractors who are doing certain things like say drywall or whatever, want nothing to do with really kitchens or kitchen designs, but want to add that to their service. It's additional revenue stream, it's additional income that's already there that you're in the middle of, you're seeing it all the time, and you say, wow, I want to capitalize on that. So that's the kind of thing that we offer, which is really cool. An additional service. We can help people start a kitchen company, start a showroom. You can sell kitchens without a showroom. You don't need a showroom necessarily. Okay, then let's talk about so we say we're a I don't know, say we're a plumbing company. We say, wow, Dave just mentioned a new clientele. He mentioned um, hooking up sinks and all that stuff after a construction job, after a kitchen job. So then basically, that's what we're looking at getting into. We come up with another piece of clientele out there that someone who might be using our services. For example, in Arizona, you can have a general contractor license, but you can't do plumbing or electrical. So general contractors are your clients. But the key is becoming aggressive in your approach in marketing towards these areas. So, for example, what I do on Facebook, I find a company and I will both message them on Facebook about my service. I'll also copy their email and put it in my email and email them. I will also usually call them or leave a voicemail. And the fourth thing I have not done yet, but I should maybe, is text them on their cell phone. So basically, my marketing is like a three-prong approach at this time. And then I should go to texting them because a lot of guys just read their texts. A lot of contractors that are out. So anyway, we've taken a look at that's what this video is about, is exploring new frontiers, new opportunities for your business. Okay, so now we're going to take a look at once we've determined that, then we have to ask ourselves, how are we going to market it? How are we going to market it? We're going to look it up in the phone book, plumbing companies. We're going to look up, kitchen companies, or we're going to look up contractors in the phone book, or are we going to look it up on Facebook? How are we going to market that? And that's the key. Now, I'm not a marketing company, but I do consult and I can help out in these areas if you are looking for this. I'm a big fan of free marketing. I'm a big fan of teaching people how to do free marketing. And I get into some of that with my other videos. I get into the fact that when you go into a restaurant, you're giving your card out to the waiter or waitress, the wait staff, and you're saying, "Hey, I am, Billy Bob Johnson. I own a such and such company, and here's my card. And I just want you to know, if you send me a job and it's significant, I give out a finder's fee. So let me know if you send somebody to me, and I really, really appreciate you helping me out in this manner." And then so basically, if I sell a $10,000 kitchen, I'm giving somebody maybe $500 out of it, um, because I want them to be inspired to continue to do what they've just done, and I want them to be inspired to talk about me and say, "Man, that's David's kitchen design is amazing," blah 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 blah. And so that's what I do. But anyway, let me know if I can help you out. David's Kitchen Design. Thank you for your time. Have a wonderful day. And once again, guerrilla marketing. It's an aggressive approach. It's new ideas. It's changing how you do things. It's saying to yourself, now, in a good economy, business may fall off the trees or whatever. But in a struggling economy, we need to get tactical and we need to learn how to be aggressive in our approach and use different approaches. Thank you so much. Reach out, www.davidskitchendesign.com. I have classes on there in 2020 and sales techniques for kitchens. Give me a call at any time, 480-620-4284. Thanks so much and have a great day.